Hello, my friends, and welcome back. My name is Rod, and I'm here. It's a Sunday night. I'm filming this Sunday, March 13th. Today, March 13th, is my mother's birthday. Mom, happy birthday. I love you. If everyone could take a second just to wish my mom a happy birthday in the comments, that'd make her smile, I think. Anyway, this video is going to be 3 random pics. Something I started last year at the end of 2021, and I've done one this year, and it was more of a to promote Robert Z's contest, the lottery. But anyway, this is a 3 random pics. What I do, I just go over to a cubicle and I grab an album I haven't listened to in a long time, and I spin it and I really kind of absorb it. And I was going to do this last weekend, and I listened to so much, I just forgot everything I listened to. And anyway, first up, though, I'm going to mention this again, Blows Against the Empire. This album is phenomenal. JC from Flipside, I've really been enjoying this. This was VCOT from Josh. Thank you so much for this album. This is wonderful. Guy from Jefferson, Paul Kintrell from Jefferson Starship, along with Jerry Garcia, Mickey Hart, Grace Slick, David Crosby. This is a fantastic album, and thank you so much. Okay, the 3 random pics. I said when I first started doing this series, I was going to try to do it like once every week or every other week, and that went out the window. And what I do usually is spend a day listening to a couple albums, or maybe one at night, and then the next day listen to a couple and try to sit down and just kind of relate them out to people, if that makes sense. First up, the Bus Boys. I first saw these guys as a young kid on American Bandstand. And I thought they were hilarious. I thought they were good. They played a couple songs. Dick Clark interviewed them. It was basically all black, all African-American band except the drummer. And it was, the lead singer was one of the O'Neills. Brian and Kevin O'Neill were the two brothers in the band that kind of formed the band. And that was either Brian or Kevin. I forget now. And they would make funny expressions, and the songs they sang were just crazy. You may have seen them we've all seen the movie Not Coming to America, but 48 Hours, Eddie's first movie. These guys were the band playing in the bar where Eddie jumped up on stage on them. I also saw them on the show Fridays. If anyone remembers that very short-lived sketch show, where they did the small skits. It was kind of like a Saturday Night Live, but it was on Fridays. It was called Friday. They had played there. They also did a song for Ghostbusters. Yeah, I remember that on the soundtrack. But this album, some of the song titles, Minimum Wage, talk about living on minimum wage. Do You See Me? And some of the stuff he says on here, I'm not going to quote, man. I'm not going to do it. But some of the songs, like There Goes the Neighborhood, Whitey's moving in. He's bringing all his kin. Back in the 80s when they were like restoring all these old neighborhoods in the cities that were mainly African-American, they were going in there, buying up these houses, redoing them, and the rich white folks were moving in. And that's what this song is about. There Goes the Neighborhood. Whitey gonna bring all his kin. Also has a song on here called KKK. He talked about he wanted to start a rock and roll band and join the KKK. Just some of the lyrics on here, like I said, I wouldn't say controversial, but kind of make you raise an eyebrow. The Bus Boys, a wonderful band. You could still find this album for like $10. I highly recommend it. Vic Johnson, the guitar player, incredible guitar player, Vic Johnson. He actually went on to play with Sammy Hagar for a while. I would love to have got to see these guys live. I know they reformed in the late 2000s as Brian and the Busboys or something like that, a different incarnation. Try to find some of their skits, some of their videos on YouTube. I remember Dick Clark asking him, do you get any feedback, negative feedback for the expressions that you make and the lyrics that you sing about? This really cool shit. It is rock and roll at its purest form. Frost. This is some garage rock, psych rock. This is just garage rock. Good psych. This cover's in real bad shape. Usually I'm kind of real particular about my albums. But in this case, it's on Vanguard. It's an original issue. The vinyl is very good, so I can deal with a beat up cover. This is rock and roll music. It was a live concert in Detroit from the Grand Ballroom. And there's not a whole lot to say about this album. It's just a bunch of dudes just jamming. But I get caught up in it. I don't listen to it that much, but maybe once a year. They catch their audience and they hook their audience, and you're just in for the show, if you know what I mean. You're going to sit and you're going to listen to the whole record. They were voted one of the 100 best bands of all time, The Frost. Cool album. It's kind of pricey. If you find it used, you could probably get it cheaper than that now, I'm sure. But anyway, last but not least, the last of my 3 random picks that I jammed to this weekend. It was actually a lot more than that, but I narrowed it down to 3. Jerry Jeff Walker. Jeff and Gary and all those guys, I think Aaron was with them. They did a video about their favorite songwriters. This guy would have been one of mine. Jerry Jeff Walker. Recorded at the Luckenbach Dance Hall, which I'm proud to say I've been to many, many, many times. Jerry Jeff Walker. He wrote the song Mr. Bojangles. Everyone's heard Bojangles. He wrote it. It made him a fortune. Made him a fortune. But this is a good album. It's live. Even though he was a hell of a songwriter, he covered some other people's music, like Gary P. Nunn and Ray Wally Hubbard. He covered a lot of, and Guy Clark. He also, on this album, did Wheel, that the Grateful Dead had done. But he does Loud and Homesick Blues that Gary P. Nunn wrote. Great Texas dancehall song. Desperados, Waiting for a Train. Does a couple of his own, Sangria Wine. Jerry Jeff Walker, man, I had the pleasure of meeting a couple times. Such a nice, humble man. He made a career playing Texas music, even though he was from New Jersey. He settled in Texas in the late 70s in the Austin music scene. Singer-songwriter to the core. This is a fun live album. And I didn't mean to pick 2 live albums. It just kind of worked out that way. Viva Luckenbach. Excuse me. It's recorded in Luckenbach. It's Viva Telingua. And he has a part 2 of this that came out like 25 years later, which is another just fantastic live album by Jerry Jeff Walker. This is my 3 random picks. Shout outs today is Nerdy Vinyl. Don't forget that Aaron Mutha Alamir has a contest going on. Don't forget that Bobby Z, you may know him as Robert Z, is having his lottery. Get involved with that lottery. Check it out. Watch other people's videos on it. If you win, you're liable to win 40 different music items, albums, CDs, I started to grab a cup I got mine when I won, but it's in the kitchen being cleaned. But it was a cool cup. It says, Rod the Happy Hippie, Steve from 9496 Tall gave me. Just imagine it with the dancing bears on it. Anyway, t-shirts, all kinds of cool stuff, stickers. And what, if you don't know about it, what it is, he gets 26 volunteers, one for each letter of the alphabet. If he gets more volunteers, he gives them a number or a color, and they send the winner of the contest, whatever letter they got or number they got, something, an album, a CD, whatever, t-shirt. Thank you, guys. Zach Blabbeth, this video is for you, Zach. I hope you're feeling better. Zach, you laid up in the hospital, man. I'm thinking of you, bro.